Elisa Baker had an uncanny ability to stay ahead of bill collectors, police, social workers, and her multiple husbands. Born Elisa Fairchild, she grew up as the middle child of three girls whose parents worked in the western North Carolina textile mills and furniture factories in the late 1960s. She was a pretty, chubby-cheeked girl with jet black hair. Her father doted on her while her mother was the disciplinarian. As she approached her teenage years, she began talking back, swearing at her mother who would slap her. "That was just the way people around here disciplined their children," said an aunt. Elisa was popular in school. Those who knew her described an attractive high school student who became manipulative, cunning, and insecure, struggling with obesity. Even as she got older and gained more weight, men were drawn to her. Many times she would detach herself from society by becoming immersed in the online world. There, she made herself over as Elisa, a darkly glamorous woman whose allure reached Adam Baker from her economically depressed corner of Appalachia. The first time Adam Baker saw his future wife in person was at the airport. They had met through Instant Messaging Virtual Universe, a website where users create three-dimensional characters to represent themselves, using the avatars to interact in a virtual world. He was 33, Elisa was 40. The couple lived with Adam Baker's mother in Giru, in the southern part of Australia, but his friends and family had doubts. Her story seemed very outrageous. "We kept wondering, what is she doing here?" said a family friend. The couple were married in his family's backyard, July 8, 2008. A few months later, Adam Baker told his mother he was moving to the U.S. His family was worried about Adam's young daughter, Zara. He had become a single parent in South Wales, Australia, when her birth mother, Emily Dietrich, had experienced serious postpartum depression after Zara's birth. She separated from him in 2000 when the baby was just 8 months old, giving him full custody. At 4 years old, Zara became seriously ill when she was diagnosed with bone cancer. One of her legs had to be amputated below the knee, and she was adjusting to using a prosthetic leg. The chemotherapy had left her partially deaf, forcing her to use hearing aids. That same year, Adam Baker took Zara and moved with his parents to Giru, Queensland, Australia, to work for a sugar mill. In 2005, shortly after settling in Giru, Zara developed lung cancer. Justifiably, Adam's family was worried when Adam informed them he was taking Zara to another country, because in Australia, Zara's medical treatments were free. To ease their worries, Adam Baker told his friends and family that Elisa Baker had money and would take care of the bills. On Saturday, October 9, 2010, at 5 in the morning, Elisa Baker called 911.
My husband works for a tree maintenance company, and our backyard's on fire.
Your what's on fire?
The backyard, we've got big mulch piles and wood piles because we sell firewood and stuff.
Okay, what's your address, ma'am?
It's 2121 Avenue Northwest.
2121st Avenue Northwest?
Yes.
What's your phone number there, ma'am?
It's 855. Let me give you my cell phone because I can't even remember my own number.
855-3787. Okay,
Yeah.
We'll get them out there, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
A second 911 call came in at 2 p.m. that afternoon. The caller was Adam Baker. His 10-year-old daughter was missing. There had been a fire in his backyard that morning. After it burned out, he discovered a note stuck on his company truck asking for a $1 million ransom. The note was addressed to his boss and landlord, Mark Coffey. Adam explained that the purported kidnapper must have mistaken Zara for Mark Coffey's daughter, hence the reason for the high ransom. However, Coffey's daughter was unharmed and with her family. The last time Adam had seen his daughter was 2:30 that morning before he left for work. He implied that whoever started the fire may have done it to distract the family in order to take Zara. Police went to the residence and inspected the ransom note and observed the smell of gasoline coming from Adam's company truck. The next day, Sunday, October 10th, Elisa Baker was charged and jailed for obstruction of justice after admitting she wrote the ransom note. Her double life of conning and conniving to get what she wanted was about to explode into the public's view. She was arrested at the same time for conspiring with others from 2006 to October 2010 to possess and sell with the intent to distribute controlled substances, oxycodone, hydrocodone, and alprazolam. She was also charged with maintaining residences in Granite Falls, Hudson, and Hickory, North Carolina, for the purpose of distributing prescription drugs. Search and rescue dogs searched the Baker's house and cars. The dogs gave positive alerts to the scent of human remains on both the Chevrolet Tahoe and a sedan. Police took swabs of what looked like blood from the car.
A big development in a tragedy that struck hearts from here in North Carolina across the globe to Australia.
Almost exactly a year ago, Zara Baker, a disabled 10-year-old girl and cancer survivor, disappeared. Her body was found dismembered near Hickory. This morning, her stepmother pleaded guilty to the murder. Stacey Davis has more on this plea agreement. Stacey?
Well, Baker was this adorable young girl who had battled bone cancer, had to have part of her leg amputated, wore a hearing aid, and when her parents reported her kidnapped, many wondered who would possibly harm this little girl. In court today, her stepmother nodded her head to a judge that she did.
Do you now plead guilty to second-degree murder?
Elisa Baker told a Catawba County judge she was guilty. Guilty of murder, guilty of desecrating her stepdaughter's body, guilty of bigamy. In court papers, the 43-year-old was painted as a habitual liar, a drifter, who was married 7 times, sometimes without divorcing first. Although he hasn't been charged in the murder, sitting in court for the plea, her current husband, Adam Baker. He'd met Elisa Baker online in Australia and decided to marry her and bring his daughter Zara with him to the United States. Last fall, the couple reported the girl kidnapped from their home in Hickory. It was October 9th. People for hundreds of miles came to help in the lengthy search. The plea deal revealed Elisa Baker actually found the young girl weeks earlier, on September 24th, unresponsive in her room. Baker was charged with faking a ransom note. Also revealed, Baker did eventually help police find Zara's body, but only after 58 searches that took almost 2 weeks. We've also learned that still not all of Zara's body parts have been found. And we also learned they found a saw. Under normal circumstances, Elisa Baker would have faced up to 60 years in prison. Instead, the judge agreed to 15 to 18 years behind bars. What we did not learn today was exactly how Zara Baker died before she was dismembered. That is still a lingering question. Now, Adam Baker, her father, did speak to a reporter after the hearing, saying that the hearing showed the world that he had nothing to do with his daughter's death. When asked if the plea deal was justice for his daughter, he said simply, not really. David?
Stacey Davis, thank you.
October 27th, 2010. Investigators discovered off a road in Caldwell County, North Carolina, a few miles from the former home of Elisa Baker, a prosthetic leg that matched the serial number for the one Zara had. Officials presented their findings to Elisa Baker, who was still languishing in jail. Sensing a leverage deal, she began providing them with information in the search for Zara. On November 3, 2010, Elisa guided police to Zara Claire Baker's dismembered remains found scattered over several locations. The bones also indicated her flesh had been scavenged by animals. According to the medical examiner, 2 different types of tool marks were found on many of the bones, indicating that she was dismembered after she died. No cause of death could be determined, so Zara's death was ruled an undetermined violent homicide. Elisa Baker allegedly told police that both she and Adam Baker had disposed of Zara's remains, but according to cell phone towers, only Elisa, not Adam, was in the area where Zara's remains were found. Investigators believe Elisa Baker killed and dismembered Zara on September 24, 2010, and disposed of her remains. The following day, Elisa Baker was indicted by a grand jury for second-degree murder with aggravating circumstances on February 22, 2011 in Catawba County. 5 aggravating circumstances were cited. Elisa Baker had a history of physical, verbal, and psychological abuse of the child. She secreted the child from her family before and after the crime. She desecrated Zara's body to hinder the murder investigation and prosecution. Zara was young and physically disabled. Elisa Baker took advantage of a position of trust. September 2011, Elisa Baker pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of Zara Baker. She was sentenced to 18 years in prison. She would have been charged with first-degree murder had she not led law enforcement to Zara's remains. In January 2012, Elisa Baker pleaded guilty to drug charges. U.S. District Court Judge Richard Voorhees sentenced her to serve 120 months in prison for conspiracy with intent to distribute prescription drugs, and 3 years court supervision once she served her prison term. He further ordered that she complete her state sentence before serving her federal sentence. Zara and her life will be forever in our thoughts, and Team Zara will forever be connected through her spirit. Given her story, her young age, and being born in Australia, she had become an international symbol of strength and hope while being treated for cancer. She kept smiling and fighting through it all. 56-year-old Elisa Baker is currently incarcerated at Anson Correctional Institution, a close medium custody prison in Polkton, North Carolina. According to the State Department of Corrections records, her projected release date is July 2nd, 2025.